Hey YouTube, how the hell are you? Before we start today's episode, I have a new piece of fan artwork here done by Jacob Baines. First of all, I've really gotta apologize to poor Mr. Baines. He had sent it to me after the very first episode of this series, and damn it, I just didn't notice it in my email. Anyways, I'm a silly bastard. Now we have here a picture of Mallard, the dwarf, with a quote here, quack. Now, of course, Mallard is the nickname I had given to one of my dwarves for his love of ducks, if you recall. And in the game, he is in fact a dwarf, not a duck. But this is kind of a reimagining of the character, I'd like to think. You know what? I especially like the beard here. And look at this guy too. He knows he looks good. Yeah, you like this beard? You like it? Yeah, I know you do. It's rockin'. He certainly seems pleased with his own appearance, or possibly that he's up to some mischief. Either of which is on the table, I suppose. Anywho, Jacob Baines, you are a goddamn rock star. Thank you very much. I really appreciate this. And as for the rest of you, sharpen your axes, furrow your brows, and prepare yourselves for today's episode. Hello, and welcome back once again to Zalutadil, Future Lanterns. Now then, YouTube, last episode we encountered the goblins in our forest home for the first time. Kind of a pitiful attempt on their part, as most of them were killed or sent scurrying back home, tails tucked firmly betwixt their green legs. But they know we're here now, out in the forest, waiting for them to attack again, and I'm sure they will before long. So this episode, I'm really hoping to see them attack again. I'm going to try to let as much time pass as possible just so we can see those goblins again. I'm hoping that before the end of the episode we get to see a big siege. Trolls, beak dogs, I want it all. And because a whole bunch of time is progressing, I'm hoping we make a bunch of new artifacts, maybe get a chance to do some trading with those merchants. Our first edition of wooden figurines didn't really go over so well. They didn't really trade for a whole hell of a lot. So we gotta make some new ones of those. Maybe encrust them with gems or something. And besides that, maybe just some little things here and there. We really have to get that tomb in order, get it all filled up with water. We have to make a little place to honor the dead osprey men. That shouldn't be too difficult though. And we also really have to fix the arena walkway. Right now it's actually completely useless. I wanna see that functioning, damn it. And we will, in due time. But for now, I'm just gonna let the dwarves do their thing, maybe make some new wooden figurines, get a couple of things squared away nice, and then I'll get right back to you. First minor order of business here, YouTube. I converted one of the levels of the storage silo into kind of an animal area. I have 3 rooms here, one with wild boars, one with Kias, and one with a couple of weasels. I figured this would give my not quite tame animals an area to kind of stretch their legs a little bit, and plus if they're attached to restraints like this and not in cages, then they could breed with one another, and we can get more of them. That being said, these Kias here, which there are a ton of them in here, I don't even know how many exactly. None of them are restrained, they're just in this room with a couple of unlocked doors. That's why I have these cage traps here. And I gotta say, they've been laying eggs like crazy, so that's pretty useful. I'm really hoping they don't like escape out of there and start stealing literally everything in the fortress, cause that'd be not a great thing. But I'm not too concerned about it. This seems to be working fine at the moment. Well, hey now YouTube, that didn't take long at all. Wow, man oh man, I'll tell ya. We must have really riled them up, huh? Let's see what we got here. Alright, bunch of recruits again. Couple of beak dogs this time. And overall, we have a bunch more goblins straight off the bat than we did the last time. I'm sure more than this will appear. And again, it appears we have a wounded goblin with a massive jagged scar on his neck. Interesting. I'm not 100% sure why that would be, but I have a feeling it has something to do with Bim Silversnarl. Before he decided to stop killing goblins, he certainly beat the hell out of a lot of them. Maybe this is one of those goblins. Food for thought anyways. Again, I'm really gonna have to try to catch a lot of those goblins. I don't want to kill them all immediately, so I'm gonna try to run them through that long hall with all the cage traps again. First things first, I'm gonna turn on the burrow. Everyone make your way there. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna try to figure out how I can get my military dwarves over to that long hall quicker. Last time they were barely able to catch those goblins as they ran away. This time there's gonna be a lot more of them. Oh yeah, there is. A ton of goblins. Fantastic. So many recruits, they have no fighting experience at all. It'd be so easy to send my dwarves out and just mutilate them all. I'm not gonna though, I cannot do it. We need something for the arena. I'm fairly certain all my dwarves are in the fortress right now, actually. And so then I will close up the main gates. Let's think about this for a second. Oh boy, goblins are still appearing too. Yeah, there's a ton of them. Beautiful. Alright, I'll tell you what, this might be really stupid, YouTube, but what the hell? I'm going to take all of my squads, all 6 squads, 60 military dwarves, right? And I'm gonna move them. I'm gonna move them over here, down in this little area, up in the north, okay? Just like this. So they'll be kind of out of the sight of the goblins. And then I'm gonna leave that back door open so the goblins all come in through that cage-trapped hallway. And then when they try to escape, the dwarves here will rush out of the gully and, kill them all? Yeah, sure. I've got a feeling it's gonna work absolutely fine. Well, let's do it. Okay, here they go. There shouldn't be much of a problem with them all getting out there before the goblins arrive. Oh man, and there are a lot of goblins. And dwarves are still moving out of the fortress. Babies in arm. Stupid dwarves. This one appears to be carrying a dead weasel. Of course. Alright, now that is the vast majority of the dwarves. Oh, except for old Butterfingers last in line. Come on, dude, get out there. Okay, anywho, they're all out now. I'm going to lock up the gates. Pull the lever now, please, thank you. The dwarf just pulled the lever, and the front gates are closed. Good, good. Oh lord, why is this beak dog attacking a boar? Where are you, man? Oh god. Ral the Bruiser? You idiot. Oh my god. Okay, this isn't gonna turn out well for Ral. Oh my god. Currently engaged in a martial trance. Well, I'm not sure what the hell this guy was planning exactly, but I don't think it's gonna turn out well for him. Completely engulfed by goblins right now. There are arrows flying, more and more goblins every second. I don't know what you're thinking, dude. Yeah, he died. Well, he took down 4 goblins. Not very impressive, dude. Just foolish. Alright, let's not do that anymore. Anyone, please. Okay? Like these guys here, where do you think they could be going right now? Alright, I tell you what, I'm gonna lock up this back door in the fortress because I have a feeling they're trying to get back into the fortress, probably for a drink or some stupid reason like that. And guys, you're gonna want to turn around. Chasing down a beak dog, trying to be a couple of glory hogs. Oh, and they spotted the main body of goblins and have just waded in. Not intelligent. I had stated that once before. It's very stupid. It's a very stupid thing you're doing. They appear to be getting ripped apart right now. Yeah, they're gone. And here's another dwarf down here. And oh, and another one right up here. Hey, remember that whole good idea thing I said and like how it couldn't possibly go wrong thing that I said? It's actually not going as planned. Alright, tell you what, all of you dwarves, I'm going to send you out and we're gonna kill all these guys together as a big old group, as an actual frigging army. Not like one at a time, like stupid dwarves. Go ahead, get in there, all of you. We have Bim the Hardened coming up the north side of this long hall right here by himself. Apparently he thinks he's something. I'd be very upset if he died. Just by the way, entered a martial trance, taking down a goblin, currently being engulfed. Oh my god, YouTube. This game, this dwarf fortress here, I love it. I'll tell ya. Just an endless resource for storytelling, and all kinds of crazy stuff can happen. Alright, and here come the dwarves rounding the corner, sighting the goblins. Oh my god. Alright, see, I guess this is just an example of how you shouldn't be cute with your tactics. because the military is just foolish in a lot of cases. And just for those of you who were wondering, Bim the Hardened is now dead. The dwarves are slamming into the body of goblins, not really having a hard time at all killing them. They have moved through the goblin forces, hunting down stragglers, of which there are only 2 left. Yeah, that was quick work on the part of the dwarves. And the siege is over and all of the goblins are dead. Every single blessed one. As well as 6 of my dwarves. 2 of which were from Delerschlid. That's pretty painful, YouTube. That is pretty painful right there. Like a dagger being driven into my side. And here we see a wounded dwarf. This is Kivish, the tracker, the one who was able to hunt down that moose. Yeah, and he got his shit beat up too. His heart is bruised. His hand is mangled. His neck is torn open. Liver is broken. The whole 9. I guess time will tell if he survives or not. Who else? Any other wounded ones? Ablel Smith-Inch. Her left upper arm is gone. Good. Oh boy, I'll tell ya. Alright, I suppose we'll reopen the gates and get our shit back together. I cannot believe I lost 2 of the Steelclutches dwarves like that. How disappointing is that? I mean, come on. They've got these long, colorful careers of battling goblins, living in Delerschlid, just zombies all over the place, all the time. Every day is just terrible. And then they go out and get killed by a group of goblin recruits. I mean, how can you even make sense of that? Really, I mean, come on. Oh, I suppose that's what makes this game special, though. You can't really count on anything. When special stuff happens, it makes it that much more special. I was secretly hoping that Ral the Bruiser would go out there and just start mowing goblins down. That would have been something. But again, Dwarf Fortress. Well, we did manage to catch 2 goblins and 2 beak dogs, and we did kill 7, 8, 9, 10 beak dogs and 78 goblins. Not bad at all. But losing 6 dwarves like that is really unacceptable. I think we really should rethink that long haul, because we want to trap goblins so we can throw them in the arena, with the ultimate goal being to kill them. So if we can't trap them, we should be able to at least kill them. We certainly don't want any of them escaping. So I'm thinking the best plan would be to get rid of a bunch of these traps here by the entrance so that the goblins can get way the hell back into this hall before they start escaping. In fact, I'm going to get rid of all the traps in this first stretch of hall and move them all farther down into the second stretch, so that by the time they realize they have no chance of getting through the hall, they'll have a ways to go before they can even exit it. And on top of that, I'm also going to make a second little tunnel, I think, right over here. I'm going to make another little cabin structure like we have in this arena right here, except I'm going to put it outside this long hall. And then I could station all of my warrior dwarves down underneath, and then when the goblins try to escape, I can send them up and cut them off. That way I'll have trapped a whole bunch of them, and then the rest have no chance of escape. It's really difficult to put a good spin on why Ral and Bim the Hardened went out there before all the other dwarves. The best thing I could possibly think of is hubris. If you think about it, those 2 were basically raised in Delerschlid, one of the toughest dwarven fortresses ever to have existed in this world. All the dwarves here in Zalutadil know that, and so they expected Delerschlid dwarves to be somewhat tougher than the rest of them. And you know, dwarves, prone to boasting, I would imagine. And so they ran out there, tried to take on some goblins, and failed miserably. The hubris of dwarves. Oftentimes their worst enemy. We'll have to keep that in mind as we move forward. And maybe not try to be so cute in the future with our tactics. Oy. Oh well, back to it, I suppose. Ah, geez. One thing right after the other, YouTube. We just lost one of the dwarven rat catchers, due to violation of production order. Our mayor, Mebzuth, had mandated the construction of a couple of shields, which I neglected to order up. So in return, they ordered this dwarf to be killed. I did not witness it when it happened, but judging by this combat here, it looks like Rovad, Butterfingers, approached Dodak, the rat catcher, scratched him in his left foot, which fractured his ankle bone, punched him in his stomach, after which Rovad exclaimed, "I beat somebody as a punishment. I am not exhilarated," and then punched him in the head a couple times, which ended up killing him. But the most interesting part about this, I think, is that the rat catcher was holding a bayberry wood figurine of Stibmer, which is a dwarven god. I wonder if that was his god. It makes it kind of depressing, really. Hey dwarves, maybe we could stop, like, killing each other and stuff. That might be a nice thing. I don't understand what the hell you needed a shield so much for, Mebzuth. You can see up to the north here, we just finished up this big old cabin structure, and it should get the job done fairly well, I would imagine. The tunnel underneath is all dug out as well, and it is good to go. I made this little cabin 2 levels tall. In this top one here, I'm thinking of putting a second tavern in there. The Hungry Axe I made only accessible to my civilians, but I'm thinking this one could be for outsiders. I kinda doubt anybody's ever gonna show up here, but it might be interesting. Alright, what the hell? Another thing I missed here. Kivish the Tracker has been found dead, one of the Pine Beards. YouTube, I beseech you. I assume infection or blood loss or something. They were wounded pretty badly in that fighting, but to have survived this long. Okay, maybe we can stop dying. Dwarves, what do you think? Enough of that, please. Ugh, you know what? I just realized we didn't make any wood crafts to trade with the merchants this year. Yeah, we really gotta decide what we're making. Let's take a look. We'll make 100 wooden figurines of... Let's see. We will make 100 of bull moose. That'd be pretty cool. Kind of an iconic animal of the turquoise jungles here. And we'll make 100 more of... We'll make them of goblins. And not just any old goblin either. The goblins are suffering. That's pretty nice. 100 more of figurines of dwarves. But again, that's fairly boring. A dwarf and a spear. And a shield, representing one of the soldiers here at Zalutadil. And I think once again we'll make 100 of just whatever the hell the artist desires. A grab bag, if you will. I believe I will. 400 wooden figurines. And this time we're gonna encrust them with the gems. Hopefully. That could be kind of a finicky business. But we do have a ton of gems now, so might as well put them to use, right? Alright YouTube, this whole time I've been thinking these rat catcher guys are pretty useless, because I have yet to catch any small animals, but I didn't realize you have to actually bait the small animal traps, and if you go over them, the options are meat, fish, or large gems. I obviously have to do some more research on this. I guess I had just assumed that animals walked into them eventually, like normal cage traps, but I guess it's just not the case. Well, I have my rat catcher here, my single rat catcher mind you, going around and baiting all of the traps now. I have meat in some of them, fish in others, and large gems in a couple of them. I'm curious to see what pops up now. Huh, that's pretty interesting. Not a great thing, mind you. But here it says your trap was robbed of the prepared deer brain. So apparently those small animals can steal the bait out of there, which I imagine has something to do with the low level of skill of our rat catcher. Guess I'll have to play around with it some more. Alright YouTube, just finished up this little tavern up to the north here. Really hoping we get some visitors at some point. I went ahead and named it Nazush Rekas Komnith. The bloodthirst of butterflies. That should pique the tavern goer's interest, I would imagine. As you can see, there's not much in here to speak of, just a couple of tables, a couple of chairs, and some food and drinks. Now all we gotta do is sit back and wait for the visitors to arrive. Oh shit, YouTube, would you look at this? We caught a live wren. Our first small animal capture. Wow, that's actually really fun for me. What the hell else can you catch? All kinds of little creatures, I'd imagine. A wren is pretty boring, yes, but hell, it's a start, huh? Oh, and there it is too. Right in that little cage. This is a live wren. How descriptive. I'm not sure what the next step is. Okay, well, it appears on this list here with the rest of my animals, so I guess I'll just tame it. No? Can't tame it? Huh. Well, I'm not too sure what you do with it then. Well, I guess I'll wait for someone to take that trap out of there, and then maybe we could do something with it? I'm not sure. Hey YouTube, guess what? 6th of Malachite. Midsummer. You know what that means. Time for the summer hunt of 1040. Now then YouTube, this year we have some spicier game to throw in the arena. Better than badgers anyways. We have ourselves 5 goblins and a beak dog. But who will face this threat, YouTube? Here we see Rovad, or Butterfingers as the dwarves have been calling him. Now I'd say that this is a dwarf in sore need of some retribution, wouldn't you agree? I mean really this guy is one of the last few combat hardened dwarves of Delairshulid still left in Zalutadil here. It seems like a shame for him to be stuck with the nickname Butterfingers for the rest of his days, so I'm thinking we send him in by himself. How does that sound, YouTube? That sounds dangerous, doesn't it? It would be a shame if he died, but the thrill of looking death right in the eye is what the arena is all about. And I mean, I guess if he did die, it'd be better than living with the name Butterfingers. So I suppose he's gonna get out of that nickname one way or the other. And you know what? Damn it, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm sure he can handle it. I'm not too concerned, really. I'm actually a little concerned. Alright, Rovad, you ready? He's got greaves, a spear, a shield, and a helmet. So then, Rovad, I'm gonna have you move right underneath here, into this waiting room that I had converted into a hospital. Just a temporary measure. Here he comes on his way to the arena. If he is actually able to kill these goblins and the beak dog, I will change his name to something much cooler. I don't know what though. I just feel bad for the guy, really. Oh, and you know what? I'm actually gonna send him right up here in the arena, right in the middle of all these cages. I think that'd be a cool way to start it off. Here he comes to the cheers of Zalutadil's dwarves. Rovad, leader of the military. I will lock these doors behind him. People of Zalutadil, Rovad, the head of our military, is here today to clear his name and to regain his lost honor. Will he succeed, or shall he perish here in Zalutadil's grand arena? We'll make sure your mugs are filled and brace yourselves for combat, dwarves, because now is the time for glory. Pull the lever! And let's start the show. Any moment now, the goblins jeering at Rovad, screaming at him. Will he survive the next few moments? Cages are open, and he is fighting already. He's entered a martial trance, fighting well. Several wounded goblins, a dead goblin, wounded beak dog. He's stabbing the hell out of a goblin. He killed another goblin. There are no capable opponents left remaining. We've caught a live toad. I do not care. I could not care less. And he continues. Only the beak dog remains. And it has died. Wow. Let's take a look at that combat. Rovad had no trouble at all fending off all of those goblins in the beak dog. Not one goblin laid a finger on him. He ripped his way through all of them. Wow, that was fantastic. I actually did not have high hopes for him. Not to say that he's a weakling or anything. Certainly he's not. It's just, Dwarf Fortress. Alright, Rovad, you get yourself a new nickname. Rovad, no longer shall you be known as Butterfingers. From this day forward, you will now be known as the Gladiator. Just so we never forget how he was able to cleanse his good name. Although I'm still not exactly happy about him losing that artifact. Oh, Rovad. Good job, dude. Now that's enough of you. Get back to work, will ya? This is kind of fun here, YouTube. I didn't really plan on recording it, but I have all my dwarves going out and hunting down some wild boars, just to kind of mix things up a little bit. A boar hunt through the woods of the turquoise jungles. Picture the dwarves hoofing it through the woods, screaming obscenities at these boars, who I'm sure are squealing and making all kinds of horrible noises as they crash through the underbrush. Oh, looks like this guy over here tracked one down, and is letting it have it. Oh, he killed one. Nice. And this guy over here has one as well. Good job, dude. Oh, and they killed one over here, and they're chasing this one down. Actually, this is the Gladiator, I believe. Go get him, Rovad. There we go. Knocking all of its teeth out. Good job, dwarves. Just this one left here. Almost. Ha, you ain't going nowhere. Nice. What a bunch of rockin' dwarves, huh? If you take a look over here, YouTube, you can see a nice little tomb area I made so we can finally put the souls of the Osprey people to rest. I mean, honestly, I don't find their tortured souls to be too repellent, but I figure it's the nice thing to do. If you observe, this is just kind of a dirt mound that I carved a narrow little tunnel into, and then off to the side in there, I made some wooden caskets, and then I kind of just hucked the rotten old skeletons in there. This should get the job done, right? I'm not going to bother putting a door up there. I mean, they're dead. They don't care about privacy, right? My work is done here. Oh, baby, YouTube. I don't think those goblins are too happy with us. Beautiful. They attacked right at the beginning of spring this year, and it has just turned fall. And here they are again. And it's looking like it's another sizable group, a lot of whom are recruits or just wrestlers. Yep, bunch of losers. Oh, and this time we are completely ready for them. We're not gonna flub it up like we did last time. You hear me, dwarves? No funny business. Turn that burrow on. Everyone to it. Move your asses. Right now. Alright, dwarves, once again from the top. This time with feeling. We have to show these damn goblins what we're made of. Our fortress may be wooden, but our souls are steel. Let's take a look at what we got coming for us. Whole bunch of them. Yeah, actually a bit more than last time. Fantastic. We don't have any trolls yet, so I'm just gonna lock these doors here. We don't have to worry about trolls ripping them off the hinges. Oh man, would you look at that, YouTube? Oh, and they are still coming too. Holy shit. Yeah, we must have really pissed them off. Oh my god, they're still coming. This is amazing. Almost 4.5 pages of invaders now. Glorious. Alright, let's take a look over here in the fortress. I'm going to lock up the front gates. Locked up tighter than a drum. And in addition to that, I'm going to send my warrior dwarves down underneath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages of invaders. Almost 5.5. Man, look at that, YouTube. Just rabble too. Hardly any armed goblins at all. I'm going to bet that none of these goblins escape. Not a single one. Here they come. They have entered the long hall. Oh, there's no traps in here this time. It's basically safe. Little do they know, deep under the earth, dwarven fury awaits. Even if every single one of these cage traps caught a goblin, that's not a large percentage of these invaders here. We're gonna have some fighting to do, that's for sure. I'm just hoping the vast majority of them manage to get into the hall before they start retreating. The first of the goblins are now stuck in cage traps. Oh, there will be blood today, and death. But even more so than both of those, glory. Glory for the dwarves. That's right, goblins, come on up. Pack yourselves nice and tightly in this corridor here. Perhaps they're starting to realize it's a foolish idea to enter this hallway. I'd have to think so. They seem a tad nervous now. No, please continue. How else will you get to those defenseless dwarves inside? The dwarves inside just go about their daily business. No qualms. Nothing's wrong whatsoever. Goblins are starting to be able to get past this cage trap area here. There's only a few left in their way. Alright, there's only a few recruits left outside now. Oh, baby, YouTube, this is gonna be pretty good. Who's ready? Alright, I have the game paused. I'm gonna unlock this door right here. All squads, kill all of these goblins real quick, and I will give the order. Let's go. The few remaining goblins are entering this hallway now, as the front of their group gets past the cage traps. Looks like I had just enough to slow them down. And here come those dwarves. Oh, those goblins are in for it, that's for sure. Gotta make sure to close up this door over here, which some of my dwarves appear to be going through right now. Would that be a very bad thing? Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna lock that up. No dwarves can go through that way. This way, dwarves. Don't be foolish. Here come the dwarves. Babies in hand. So stupid. Ready to collide with the back of the goblin column. Here we go. Get in there, dwarves. The dwarves are engaged. The battle has begun. Most of the dwarves aren't even there yet, and the goblins have begun to die. We start the battle with 190 dwarves. The goblins are beginning to panic. They hear the screams of their comrades, but unfortunately for them, there's not much they can do about it. The dwarves are moving up the ramp into the long hall now. The dwarves are now moving up the corridor, slaying goblins with every step. I see some martial trances from the dwarves now. Arrows and bolts are flying back down the corridor. I see a couple of wounded dwarves, none dead yet though. The dwarves are fighting shoulder to shoulder, clashing with the goblins. None of these goblins are going home. I'll tell you that much. The hallway is becoming choked with dead goblins. I do not yet see any dwarven dead. Speak to the devil, one has died, one of the rabid possums. 2 dead, one of the mad cones. It's the goblin bowmen, I swear. They are the worst. Keep fighting, dwarves. The dwarves are now rounding the bend in the hallway. Arrows are still flying. The vast majority of goblins are dead now. I see many wounded dwarves now. Not fantastic. Although I think some of them might just be overexerted. Alright, now it looks like all the goblins are dead. The ones in the hall anyways. It still says we're under siege. And in fact there are 2 invaders left. Out at the edge of the map. Wounded. They appear to be very badly wounded, YouTube. Incredibly badly wounded. Look at this one here. This bowman. His upper body is gone. What? What happened? That's quite a wound. Both of them, actually. She has a thin body with almost no fat on it. In fact, so little fat that her entire upper body is gone. Strange. Okay, kill these last 2 sets of goblin legs. Boy, I wish I could put a roleplay spin on that. Yeah, I'm not too sure what's up with that. Very strange. Alright, let's see. We started the combat with 190 dwarves. We're down to 188 right now. We lost 2 dwarves. We killed over 200 goblins. You know, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that was a pretty successful siege. And I'm gonna turn the burrow off. Dwarves, you are free to resume your duties. Good job, everyone. Man, look at this hallway, YouTube. Ah, shit, we lost another dwarf. Bound to happen, I suppose. I'm actually pretty interested to see how these goblin legs behave in combat. Believe it or not. Oh, they just disintegrate, seemingly. Alright. Huh. Alright, now let's reopen all the gates and resume life in Zaludadil. Something a little disturbing here, YouTube. Still says we're under siege. I don't know why that would be. All of the living invaders are now in cages. Oh well, there's nothing dangerous around, so I don't really care that much, I suppose. Something interesting here. Ineth Delaramaz, the Mad Cone, keeps talking to herself. Death, I am not upset by this. Death, I am not upset by this. Chanting to herself. And you know, strange thing is, she's the dwarf who killed those 2 sets of goblin legs. Perhaps the experience was a little jarring for her. I guess I wouldn't doubt that. Hoping she gets over it. Well, YouTube, looks like we're getting to the end of this episode. I should probably start wrapping it up. And I'll tell you, what a fun episode that was. 2 sieges right there. And in an awesome arena battle. Old Butterfingers got rid of that nickname, which is good. I'm happy for him, truly. Got our nice new Osprey tomb over here. That's looking nice. There's still no door on there. And of course we have our nice new animal level of the storage silo. Oh, you know what? Something else I forgot to mention since the end of last episode. We had Mallard die, who was one of my starting 7 dwarves. And he was one of the parties of that love triangle there, if you remember. A triangle between Mallard, who was married to Leechbreath, who was in love with Pops. Now, their relationship still has not changed, but I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. I have a feeling it's not going to change, but it's still pretty interesting to play around with that thought, huh? Well, I gotta tell you, YouTube, after seeing your lively response after last episode, I think we're gonna be spending some more time here in Zalutadil. Now, the original idea was to make a bunch of small fortresses around the world with animal people in there or something, but I was never expecting this fortress to get quite so big. And I gotta tell you, I'm starting to like it, especially after this episode. It wouldn't feel right to leave at this point. So we're gonna be spending some more time here. I'm not sure how much more. We'll play it by ear. If it starts to feel boring, then we'll go make another fortress somewhere else. But for now, I think we're good. With that in mind, we have a few questions that should be answered, like what to do with all these goblins we have. We now have a ton of goblins, like 52 goblins and a beak dog. Yeah, that's a pretty good amount, I'd say. I guess we could find some way to put them in the arena. You know, actually I have an idea I've been toying around with. I think I'm gonna have to try that out next episode, actually. Yeah, definitely gonna do that. Well, YouTube, as always, I really hope you enjoyed watching this episode, and I certainly hope you'll join me next time here in Zalutadil. And you know, I realize it's been quite a while since I made one of those Patreon commercials, since that Hero of Balance series anyways. Honestly, I don't really like making them at all. It feels too much like begging, and that really bothers me. But I suppose I should probably suck it up a little bit. So, a little plug right here. If you enjoy these episodes and want to see more of them, then you might want to consider donating $1 a month. That's all I ask, and I'd really appreciate it. The growth on there has been pretty slow, but it's growing steadily, and if I keep with it, one day I can get to my goal of doing this full time, which I think that'd be pretty darn cool. But that's enough of me and my silly dreams. As I said before, I hope to see you next week here in Fortress Zalutadil, and until then, YouTube,